Arik Armstead, I think I owe this man an apology. I was really tough on him the last few years, but I think really in retrospect, I was down on the way the Niners were using him. I mean, he was a team guy. They drafted him to play like a 3-4 defensive end. Saleh comes in and says, "You're a Leo, be 275 pounds." That's kind of unfair. And then the next year, they're like, no, you're not a Leo, but you're like a base end, be 290. And it took 5 years for D'Amico to be like, you're a defensive tackle, go play D tackle. And now he's DeForest Buckner or something. I mean, damn. So sorry, Arik, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, you do. I don't think there's much else to say if Grant you're apologizing to Arik Armstead, because honestly, he's a guy that takes a lot of flack. And I understand it sometimes because he basically became the guy that people get upset with because DeForest Buckner is no longer a 49er, and he is. That's basically what happened to him. He's the guy they kept. It's like what happened to Steve Young, if dare I go there. Like, people didn't like Steve Young because he's the guy who replaced Joe Montana.
Yeah,
they were angry at him. And
my time, but I think so, yes. You have to ask Jack Hammer. Jack Hammer lived through that. My dad did too. But
okay, yes, that's just my guess. That's just
I think that's what happened, yes.
Because that's just, at least the vibe I get when you hear Steve Young talk about it. Like, until you could win that Super Bowl, like, people were really mad at him.
The monkey on his back, nothing was good enough. Yes, true. That's true.
In a much smaller scale, that kind of what happened to Arik Armstead. He just became the guy they kept, and they traded to DeForest Buckner, and he got a good amount of money. So, instead of looking at him, Jimmy Ward, and, Javon Kinlaw, they only look at him because Kinlaw's hurt. And so it's been unfortunate for him from that standpoint, but he's been kicking butt, especially like the last 8 games when they kicked him inside. I think he's been outstanding against the run. I think a lot of their run defense, it wasn't, to me, defensive line. On the defensive line earlier in the year when they were struggling, I just felt like they weren't triggering and filling as quickly, which they are doing better. But Arik Armstead has also helped that because the way he disengages from blocks and screws up run schemes is incredible. He is really a fantastic player. And I want to go here because we talk about his contract a lot. At the level he's currently playing, I don't think there's any problem paying him $20 million next year.
I think the reason they didn't want to play him at 3 technique is that, like, he doesn't have the body type for it. He's 6'7". He's got long legs. You'd think theoretically he's an easy target for, like, down blocks and double teams, and you could kind of wash him out of the play, but guess not. I guess not. He's a good run defender at the edge too, but he's a terrible pass rusher on the edge, and he can't even keep the quarterback in the pocket. In the interior, I mean, he's a force. The quarterback can't step up. He's really, really good. Really good.
And he offers versatility because he can line up basically He can line up in 3 through 9, and you can put him in any of those techniques as a defensive lineman, which then allows them to be a little more variable with their fronts because they no longer have to just keep lining up in the Seattle front with a 1, a 3, a big 5 technique, the Sam linebacker over the tight end, and then they play their wide 9. Now they can, play Armstead a little wider. They can play him a little more inside, and they do that.
The irony to me, though, is that it took Kinlaw getting hurt for the Niners to figure this out. I'll give D'Amico credit, but I totally forgot Javon Kinlaw was on the team. And now it's like, if he comes back, cool, but like, that's Armstead's position now, man. Like,
they'll need him when he comes back, though.
What? He can be nose tackle. Yeah. No, yeah, he can be a great.
They need him.
Yeah, he can be more the merrier, but like, dude, that's Armstead's spot now. Because there's one thing I wanted to say, and this was for D'Amico. I wanted to say this, but I'm always really critical of Kyle. He hired D'Amico. He hired Saleh. He hired D'Amico. In both cases, when they made the hire, I was like, who the hell is this guy? You couldn't get someone better? He was right both times. So credit goes to Kyle.
And I think the third guy, and the next guy he will hire when D'Amico eventually gets his head coaching job will also be excellent. Because if there's one thing he's shown that I have no clue.
Is there someone on the staff that they're grooming for it, or you think he'll go outside the building? We don't have to go that far down.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, if D'Amico gets a head coaching job, that'll be a hot topic. But he has a real knack for finding and developing coaches and having them coach a specific style, and he makes them better as a head coach, which is part of his job.